Welcome back to update number 50, and as you can see here, the temperature in the loft is extremely high. It's almost at the point of being unbearable, and actually during the course of this filming I've recorded temperatures of approximately 32, 33 degrees. But never mind that. Today I've decided to make a slight amendment to the layout. I've mentioned this before. I'm going to take this particular siding, whatever, and move it up a little bit and join it with a point to the main branch line, which basically means moving this track upwards a little, and that siding will no longer be there. This will give me a lot more operational running capabilities and variation on the branch line, because it'll basically create for me a passing section where trains can run in one direction, stop to allow a train running in the other direction to continue on the branch line past the goods yard. The other benefit of doing this as well is this little section that you see here where the ruler is was giving me some contact issues. When I originally laid the track, I used some fixed track, and that was made up of 3 or 4 pieces, and there was only one connection to the power there, so the joiners weren't doing their job. So that will also fix that issue, because I'll just use one piece of track with proper dropper wires attached. And here I'm just using my normal method. I've taken up the track very carefully. This time I'm actually managed to take everything up without damaging any of the track. So they can be reused in the future if I need to. And I've just laid down some gravel sheets, basically to keep the same height as the rest of the track. And as you can see from this angle, the line will go up, curve to run parallel, and then join at this point here to the main branch line. And as you can see here, I've progressed. I've laid the track, laid the dropper wires, and I've actually got, and this is the only point on the layout that's electrofrog. All my track is from Minitrix, and the electrofrog points are actually quite simple to use. You don't even need any insulated fish plates. The section is already isolated, and the motion of switching the points makes sure that the power is correct. Obviously, you can't ever run any engines against the point because that will create a short. So here the track is laid and all wired up, and I'm just now testing it, running various trains in various directions here, just to make sure that everything is running as it should before I start the ballasting. One of the consequences of doing this, as I said, is I'm losing a siding, but I'm gaining a lot more running potential. Plus, I'm also now will be able to use these 2 sidings on the left here. They were hardly ever used, so I'll have the potential to use that. The only slight issue I had taking the track up was I damaged that little bit of fence, but nothing that can't be fixed. A little bit of super glue and some new posts in there, painted and weathered, and you'll never know that anything actually happened there. As I was saying, I've now got the potential to use these 2 sidings. I rarely used them in the past, but now I've got the ability to park some coal wagons in there. Creates a little bit more extra storage space on the layout for me. And as you can see, the branch line now, trains running in this direction. Instead of having to turn off at this point here in the past, to continue, they can now just go straight ahead and then turn off and join the main branch line again at the new section that I've just laid, basically bypassing the whole goods yard. Now the coaling yard previously had 2 cranes in it. It's only going to have one in the future. The large crane that traverses the 2 tracks here, and the large long coal bunker. The other crane is not necessary, and I'll keep that and use that hopefully on another scenic section sometime in the future. I'm also going to have to turn the big coal building by 180 degrees just to make some space at the end for the roadway. I'm going to have to create a small crossing just about here where it's to be ballasted, and a little workman's hut, shed, building, whatever, and some car parking space for various vehicles. So yeah, the testing has been quite successful. Everything's running as it should. All looking good, and I'm quite happy with how this is going to look. As I said, gives me a lot more variation in the running in the future. So the next step is to do the ballasting of the new track, and then work on getting that little landscape section finished off, and then putting back all the bits and pieces that I had there before. Bits and pieces of scrap, pipe, drums, the usual detritus that you see lying around a railway yard. So the section here will also need a signal of some sort, which I don't have at the moment, but I'm going to carry on and do the landscape, and then when I find a suitable signal, I will install it. Again, that's not a big difficult job to do. It just means scraping away some of the ballast, drilling a hole and inserting the signal, and it should all be good to go. One of the issues with the hot weather was there was this little section of track that I laid quite recently. Truth be told, I was never really happy with this little bit, but the extreme heat actually buckled the track. I installed it when it was cold, and there was no room for expansion at all. So I fitted this. There was a little bit of an expansion gap there, but when I fitted it, it was 30 plus degrees. And here it is with the ballast laid and glued in place. The only good thing about the hot weather is laying and gluing the ballast takes no time at all. I laid this and it was hard within 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And finally here, you can see I've started work on the ballasting of the new section. It's not quite finished yet. It's a work in progress, and we'll see the completion of that in the next video. I've been doing it just steps at a time. As I said, the heat makes sure that the ballast and the glue dries very quickly, but it can be quite unbearable working up in the loft at the moment, so I'm just doing it when it's supposedly cooler in the evening, and just doing little bits at a time. Anyway, that's all for this time. Hope you enjoyed this, and leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'll certainly answer them. And until next time, see you later. Bye.